Calvin says? No, we're not crazy. Not one bit. This is our destiny, that's all. But I shouldn't need to explain that to you, Zach. The one who fired the pistol at heaven. Firing pistols at the sky might be a rather common occurrence for the South. Remember? Young Guns, 1988, directed by Christopher Cain. There's that great scene where Emilio Estevez keeps firing his Colt M.1877 up at the sky. Well, but that film took place in New Mexico, didn't it? And the Oracle probably isn't referring to a situation like that. It's got to be for some purpose other than an attack or a threat. Raising a pistol up to the sky, then slowly pulling the trigger, kind of sounds like the start to a race. Don't you agree, Zach? Unfortunately, Zach, you're wrong. We need to find someone who the one who fired. Unfortunately, Zach, we need to find the one who fired the pistol. Unfortunately, Zach, Unfortunately, Zach, we need to find the one who fired. Bingo, Zach. We're currently running a race here. And the one who started this murder investigation is indeed the one who fired the pistol at heaven. In other words, the person who first discovered the body. According to the files, Lisa's body was discovered by Chuck Thompson, a crawfish farmer. He apparently works out of a fishing hut located in the marshes south of the bayou. Let's go pay him a visit. Who knows? We might even get to see some crawfish. What? Why isn't the murderer the one who started this race? Zach, this isn't like you. Of course the murderer isn't the one who started the race. The murderer's running it. They're currently in first place, and they're breaking all the rules. Any more objections, Zach? Within the White Hall of Beds. This one is even easier. There are only a few establishments that have a whole hall's worth of beds, especially in a small town like this. I'm sure you've already got a pretty good idea about what the answer is, Zach. Beds all lined up. Only an amateur would hear that and think it must be referring to a brothel. You really think that's a White Hall? Sorry, but there's a more obvious place that any beds all lined up. Only an amateur would hear that and think it must be referring to a brothel. I mean, come on, who would ever use White Hall as a symbol for a bordello? No, a White House refers to the same place no matter what country you're in. You never disappoint me, Zach. It's a medical facility. They invite their patients into rooms full of beds, where they're tended to by doctors and nurses clad in white. It's definitely a White Hall, where people are invited into beds. You always manage to impress me with your intuition. I'm really counting on you here, Zach, and I know I'll always be able to.
Agent York? You trying to leave without your trustworthy assistant?
Hello there, Patty. I'd never attempt such a thing. I was simply engaging in a battle of wits with Hoongan while I waited for you.
Hoongan?
Yes, the skeletal gentleman in the top hat.
Not that story again. Is this how you always conduct your investigations?
This is the way I work.
I bet you can't find a single partner, not even in the entire FBI.
That's not true. I always work together with Zach.
Oh, right. Zach. Don't worry. I'll be your partner while you're here in our town. Now, let's go investigate.